Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a laundry chat with you all. So I have my basket of laundry and I have the topic that I want to talk about. So I thought I've been seeing these laundry chats been going around. So I thought that'd be a perfect thing that I can do to talk about this topic without having to really dedicate a whole video to it, because it's not that important. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, one thing that I've been wanting to talk to you about, because I just feel like there might be some confusion. Cody and I have been married for a year, like I mentioned in my previous video. We just had our 1-year anniversary. But one of the things that I don't think a lot of people know on YouTube is that Cody isn't Maddie's dad. So Cody and I have Nolan together, but I've had Maddie from a previous marriage. And so this is one of the things that I really wanted to kind of shed some light on, because some people may not know, like some people that I know off of YouTube may not know the whole story. And I think a lot of people really do have a lot of questions about it, just because I've never talked about it. I don't really talk about it. I've never talked about it on, Facebook or any social media. It just kind of one of those things that happened, and then it just kind of I'm a really private person, surprisingly, so I just never really talked about it. But I was married to Madeline's dad. My daughter Madeline is 5. So her dad and I got married when I got pregnant with her at 18. We got married when I was 19, and then we divorced shortly after. And so, but I've never really talked about it. I've never really talked about the divorce, or co-parenting with him, or his involvement in her life on social media. Or, I even have some family members that really don't know the whole story behind it. So we got divorced in 2000. Oh, yeah, Maddie was 3, so we got divorced in 2016. Or we separated in 2015 and then got divorced shortly after that. And we're still really good friends. We co-parent, so what that means is that we share custody of her. And the way our custody is set up is we do 7 days and 7 days. So she will go with her dad for Sunday. We switch Sunday at 4. So Sunday at 4 she goes with her dad until the next Sunday at 4. And a lot of people that I talked to about this, about our schedule, they were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that, you just send your kid away for 7 days and you don't see them, or blah, blah, blah. Like, I could never do that. But she is in soccer now, so I still see her Mondays and Thursdays for her soccer practice, and then I have lunch with her every Friday, and then I see her every Saturday for her soccer game. So even though she is with her dad for 7 days, it's not like I don't see her for 7 days. And it's definitely not like I don't talk to her for 7 days, because she's at the point now where she's old enough that we FaceTime. We FaceTime about once or twice a week. And then if she doesn't FaceTime me, she'll call me. And then she'll Snapchat me, or she'll tell, her dad, send my mom a Snapchat, and she does the same thing here. So I still talk to her all the time. So even though I do miss her when she's with her dad, it's not like I, I'm not, don't have any communication with her. But she is very, very fortunate to have a really, really great dad. Her dad is very dedicated to her. She's a complete daddy's girl. They're very lucky to have each other, really. And I'm very fortunate for the relationship. I'm not from the town that we live in. It's a very small town. I'm not from here. My family, the closest family to me, is about 8.5, 9 hours away. So it was very hard for me when we separated, because even though I was very close to my ex-husband's family, I still felt like I didn't have anyone here when we, separated and got divorced. I felt really, really alone. But the one reason that I didn't move home was because I didn't want, if I would have moved home to my family, then I would have taken Maddie away from her dad, and then she would have been 8 or 9 hours away from her dad, like I am with my parents. You know, I'm 9 hours away from my mom, and so it would have been difficult for her. I mean, a lot more difficult than it is for me. You know, I'm an adult. I can handle going a couple months without seeing my family. You know, she would be absolutely devastated. It would be very hard to co-parent that way, to drive, you know, 8 or 9 hours for her to come see her dad. It just would not have been ideal. So I definitely, at the time, I would say it was a sacrifice. Now I don't say it's a sacrifice, because I have Cody now, and, you know, we have his family here, and so now everything kind of just worked out exactly how it was supposed to. But in the beginning, it was a sacrifice for me that I would totally make again, because that's what it's about. It's not about me, and it's not about her dad. It's about her, and how, you know, what can we do to make her have the best possible childhood given the circumstances. I know when I got divorced, my parents were 2, and so I have no memories of my mom and dad together. I don't even have memories, really real memories, of my mom and dad spending time together even after the divorce. And they had 4 kids together, and, you know, we did, you know, birthdays, and they did drop off or whatever, but my parents never saw my room at the other parent's house. You know, my dad never came in when he dropped us off, and my mom would meet my dad at McDonald's parking lot, and they just, you know, things were a lot different. You know, they had been married for 10 years, and they had a really hard divorce. They didn't have a relationship, and they made things really difficult for me. I don't have any memories of my parents ever being together, and I remember thinking, like, oh, I want to invite my mom, but, you know, my dad's gonna be there. You know, Taylor, or Maddie's dad and I both agreed that we never wanted that for our kid. So we try to get along the best way that we can. And honestly, I'm not going to say it's been easy, because it hasn't. You know, it's never easy. But it hasn't been as hard as I thought it was going to be. We want to give the best to Maddie, and that's really all that is. And so we do the best that we can, I guess. It is difficult. One of the things that I will say is that if you are co-parenting, or you're trying to figure out how to co-parent your own kid, is one of the things that you have to do is be the bigger person all of the time. All of the time. Even if the other person isn't even doing anything, it is so easy to pick a fight. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not, you know, life or death. She's happy. She's healthy. You know, she's, I don't know. There's nothing worth picking a fight over that's, like, worth my daughter's happiness, honestly, and that's all I have to say about that. If she's happy, if your kid is happy and healthy and taken care of, and, you know, maybe you don't like the way that they dress your child when they're at their other parent's house, or the way they fix their hair, or the food that they choose to serve them. I mean, as long as they're eating, they're healthy, they're taken care of, I really feel like the rest you can just kind of let go. I mean, within reason. I'm not going to say just, you know, let your other kid's parent just feed them junk food for 7 days straight. But, you know, within reason. I think it's okay to just kind of, you just have to be like the bigger person and just really suck it up, and it gets easier. When I stopped, because in the beginning I really did pick fights here and there. Everything kind of, I was just on guard all the time. Everything hurt my feelings, everything was personal, everything. But when I stopped doing that, things got easier, and he stopped fighting with me as well. We never really fought ever, but, you know, we would get into, like, little tiffs here and there about, I can't believe you did that, or you need to spend more time with her, you know, just like random, I mean, just everyday things that we would pick fights with each other about, because, you know, we're the better parent, or, you know, we're, you know, whatever. But when I stopped trying to pick fights with him, he stopped fighting back with me. And then we were able to really, I mean, create our friendship back that we had, you know, before we were Maddie's parents. And so one of the things that I suggest to you is, if you're trying to co-parent, the main thing that I have to say is be the bigger person all the time, even when you don't want to be. Even when it's so easy to pick a fight or to say something, just don't say it. Think, is this going to make my child's life better? If the answer is yes, then yeah, go fight for it. But if it's not going to make that big of a difference, if it's not going to change things, then don't. It's not worth it. Both of us be there, and she knows that even though we aren't together, that, you know, we both love her and support her, and we can have those kinds of moments together. And then even when we were talking about going trick-or-treating, she was telling, you know, everybody that was going to go trick-or-treating with her because it's going to be me, and she doesn't call Cody Dad, she'll call him Cody Dad, or, you know, my Cody Dad is what she says. And then so she'll, you know, she was like, yeah, it's going to be me and you and Cody Dad and my dad and, you know, baby brother. And so she knows that we're all going to be able to do things together, and I think that's just really great for her. I want her to know that, you know, we are still all a family, even though we're not together, we're still connected with this little girl, and that means something to me, and I want her to know that she's loved by all of us. And I don't ever want her to feel like sometimes I did when I was growing up, which, no disrespect to my parents did absolutely the best that they could, but sometimes as a child with my parents, I felt like I had to pick and choose a side. I felt like I really did have to choose my dad or my mom, and I don't ever want that for my child, you know? Or I don't ever want her to have to pick, you know, and feel like she's going to hurt somebody's feelings by doing that. If she comes up to me and she's like, you know, I want to do this with my dad and not with you, I mean, that wouldn't hurt my feelings, but as long as she knows that she can make that decision, and it's not about, I know it's not about me, it has nothing, it's not about me, it's about her and her relationship with her dad, and just me trying to give her the best possible childhood that I can. I kind of feel like I just went on and rambled on and on about that. I really didn't mean for it to be that long. That is my divorce and co-parenting story. I know I didn't really go into the divorce a lot, but honestly, that's not a story that I really want to talk about. It was not a fun time in my life. But now, we're doing the best that we can. Maddie's dad and I, you know, have a strong relationship than we did. We're better parents than we were. We're able to give our daughter a happier life. So those are the things that matter now. I'm very, very fortunate for how things play out. I know that not a lot of people have a choice really when it comes to co-parenting on how, you know, on making it easy. One of the things, like I mentioned, is just try to be the bigger person all the time. Hopefully if you stop picking fights, they'll stop fighting back with you. And even when they do pick fights with you, it's okay just to step back and just not fight back with them and just agree. Okay, whatever you say, whatever you want to do, that's fine, you know. Okay guys, all my laundry is done. So that's all I have for this video. I appreciate y'all watching. If anybody has any questions about what it's like to go through a divorce, or how to co-parent, or how to make a custody agreement that works for you, leave comments down below. I'm more than glad to, you know, I'm more than happy to help you and answer any questions, any advice that I can give you, which probably not, but you know, who knows. I really hope you enjoyed this chit chat with me. It's just one of those things that I really wanted to address, but I really wasn't sure how, so I hope I cleared up a little bit of confusion. And that's it. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really, really love if you would subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye!